Happy, happy, happy Easter. Happy Easter. I'm bopping around. I don't have any ears, but I do have some peeps. Anyways, we're on a few minutes early because why not? I'm just waiting for this to load. Load. There we go. All right. Let's see who is all here. Oh, by the way, hi, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. I'm going to make a quilt. Tracy is here, Karen, Catherine, Marcella, let's see, Norma, Melissa, Rhonda, Dawn, Lillamore, Vicky, Mari, I think that is. Let's see, Aldia, Lana, Carol, Teresa, and more. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So in today's video, I don't do other people's patterns usually, but I had this kit. Yes, it's in a mattress, you know, like a bed sheet bag. You know, you gotta find ways to keep things together, and this is one of them. So once this one is done, then I'll put another, you know, kit in here. So this is Windy Garden by Bound to Be Quilting. I do not have a link for you guys, but Scott and I looked it up. They do sell it on Etsy and probably on Bound to Be Quilting. So this is Windy Garden, Bound to Be Quilting, and the fabric that is going with this kit itself is Cottage Bouquet by Maywood Studio. So I'm gonna take it all out of here now and show you. Beautiful fabric, and it screams Easter as well. It screams springtime. We got a white on white, which has flowers, but you can't see it, but it's a white on white. Then we have little half-yard cuts of a green, a purple, a pink, a blue, a green, but I'll tell you right now, in the pattern it says yellow, but that's not yellow. Blue with polka dots on it, and then a smaller cut of a purple with flowers. Now, I cannot give you the measurements because this is not my pattern, but you could follow along and sew with me. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on this pattern before I even press everything, because I got to press it all too. It's been in this bag for a while. This pattern has a lot of different colors in it, as you can see. So my suggestion for said pattern is to go through your lists right here, and it says, like, say white, which is the background color, you know, dark blue, green, light purple, blah, blah. In your mental mind with a pencil and in your mind, remember this. Instead of saying white, dark blue, green, light purple, pink, blah, 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 alphabetize them. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. Then read through the pattern, and everywhere it says white squares, put an A next to that so that you remember. Then the dark blue, that way you can differentiate that. That would have been B for me, you know, and then you go through and say, oh, then dark blue is B, but we need white floral square, which is J, and so on and so forth. And I just went through and put A's, B's, C, D's, and so on and so forth, E, D, F, and all that in the combination so that I know what color I'm grabbing, so that in the end I get the pattern that looks like this. So, because when I started reading, I was like, it says go through and get white square. So now, I mean, I'm always flipping the page, you know. But if I mark this with the little clips that I'm going to do after I press it, then I will definitely keep everything in order. So I'm going to go ahead and, I mean, Scott could turn the camera if he wants, and I'm going to press all this nicely. They're mainly all 1/2 yard and 5/8 yard cuts, 1 3/4 yards, 2.5 yards, and 2 yards, you know. So I'm going to just press them all. If you could just watch me iron. Yeah, it's been folded some time now. This is my new iron that was gifted to me. It's a Euro steam, and I'm literally just going to use it, steam this, and it'll be flat in seconds. It really helps. I'm waiting for it to steam up though, because it takes a second to get completely and utterly hot. And then I'll go grab all my letters and we'll attach them to the fabric so that I know which one is what. All right, should be steamy. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad people are getting the stuff that they have purchased. All right, I steamed pressed both sides, and you can see this. It steams right here. You see that? When I press the button. All right, so I'm going to just stick them over here and move on to the next. Again, it's Cottage Bouquet from Maywood Studio, or by Maywood. I don't even know how to say that. Nope, no link for any of it. All right. Next. This one was kind of off a little bit. Line it up. So before I go any further on this piece, I'm actually going to open it, iron that fold, and then readjust it because this one is a little off the yardage. And if you've never seen that done, I've done it in other videos. I take my fingers and I put it on the edge, and if you look, see when it's this way, it's crooked, or when it's that way, it's crooked. You need to line it up and slide your fingers over until it's straight, right about there. Perfect. And then I'll just partially give it a sort of a crease. I am ironing with them folded because I'm just going to cut them that way. But I'm getting both sides at the same time. This iron, you can like bunch up like 20 fabrics and steam them all at the same time. I could have done them all at the same time, but I don't want to create creases where there are creases, so I'm just doing them one at a time. I'm not doing a perfect job here, but good enough. I think it's both sides, but it says on the thing that this iron is actually best with the ironing boards with the slots, but this is an ironing board with a slot, but not anymore because it's covered. I'm already hot though, standing here with all this, sweating my butt off. We're trying to, not use too much heat in here because it's summertime here, pretty much. Not spring like all of you.
Pretty much. We already hit over 100.
Yep, it's already been over 100. This week's been cooler, but windy. Love that.
Almost done.
I'm almost done. I got to do the 2 yards and whatever all those big ones are. I need to label them, which one is what. Maxine is doing good. Healing, that's what she's doing, is healing. The first couple days she couldn't shower at home because her shower's not big enough to be showered because, after surgery, everybody hurts really bad, and she couldn't lift her arms above her head or anything. She was just aching. But I have a handicap shower here at my house. So she was brought over here so that she could get a shower on a chair so that she wouldn't get dizzy standing up and stuff, which was good. Move that completely so I could slide this yardage over. I'm not going to do the perfectest job, but you can see this iron gets things pretty darn flat. Sorry, I'm going to block the camera for 2 seconds. This is what I love about having a nice giant ironing board. I literally can put the whole yardage on here, and it keeps it flat without hanging over the edge of like the curved ends of an ironing board. This is a Eurosteam Next Generation 1000-watt iron. So it's like a built-in radiator or something in it. And that's how the steam is generated. This should be good.
Boiler.
It's a boiler, sorry. See? And then it continuously steams, from that hole. All right, I'm going to fold this, that way I can cut 2 layers at a time, depending on what the cuts say, honestly, in the pattern. But we will fold it nicely and set it aside. Let's get this one. I think this one has 2 yards on it. That last one I think was 2.5. Yep, this is 2 yards. Oh, I knew it. I was going to get hot enough to need to tie my hair back. Yep, it was a gift to me, the iron. I'm very thankful. It works great on the long arm. I go and I load backing fabric without pressing it. And if like a client's quilt comes in and the backing fabric's been folded up too long, I literally just, because that has no, when you load it on the long arm, there's nothing underneath, so the steam goes right through and the wrinkles come out instantly. It's like holding a steamer, which is pretty much what that is, to the fabric on the long arm. Makes it a lot easier. It is kind of heavy though. So if you're a little on the weaker side, this is a pretty hefty duty iron. I'm pretty sure any steamer like this is though. I have no idea where you buy this iron. I think the box might say. I don't have a link for it though, guys. I have no idea. Let me look just in case. A friend got it for me. It's designed in Italy, and she bought it while at a quilt show. Right here, if you're interested, you just go to What does that say?
Fern.
Fernet. Fernet.com. I'm going to hold this close. That's where you would go if you're interested, I think. You could probably look it on Amazon too, though, honestly.
Just Google Eurosteam. I'm sure.
Yeah, just Google it. There's videos on YouTube about it. That's how I figured out how to use it because I didn't watch the demonstration long enough to know. I just watched her lay like 15 fabrics down and then pressed them all instantly after being bundled up in a ball. I thought it was pretty crazy cool. I didn't figure out how to fill it with water or nothing at the time.
Target even sells it.
Target sells it?
Yeah,
Scott,
Walmart has it.
that means Walmart will have it, yeah. Scott just looked it up, guys.
Target has it, Walmart has it.
Yeah. All right, this is the last fabric, and then we're gonna go over and start cutting things. Well, first I'm gonna mark everything and then start cutting. All right. And then I don't need an iron until we start making blocks. All right. I'm gonna turn that off. And this one has an off and on switch on the back. So that's kind of cool. All right, he's gonna turn the thing.
Just doesn't have a water level.
Yeah, it just doesn't have a water level. You can't see how much water is in it, and you have to wait for it to cool down to even check it. All right, I'm gonna grab my alphabet all the way until J. Off my clips, yep. All right, A through J. Bring this back over here for 2 seconds. All right, A is white for sure. This fully dark packed floral is, this one is I. Okay, I'm gonna put I on all of this and stick it out of the way because those are the last cuts on my thing. Then we're gonna go white floral. That would be this one. They're calling it white floral. Yeah, only 1/4 yard. That one's J. Let's find my J. That's got to be it because it's the only one that's upside down. I'm just putting clips of the alphabet on them and then setting aside. And then H is blue dot. Let's find the blue dot. That would be this one. I press it all only to throw it all around. H, because it's further down in the pattern. Turn the page back to page 1. Go to G, which is yellow, but for me, it's actually green. And I'm going to make sure they put the right one in here because it says yellow, but that's not yellow. 1/2 yard. Yep, 1/2 yard. So that's G. And then F is blue medium floral, which is this one. F. And we want E, pink. Just putting my clip in the corner, and I'm going to clip all the pieces I cut with it too. That way I know which one is what. What are we on? Light purple, which is D. And then green is C. The blue is B. And the white is A. All right, B and A. I'm just going to open it, lay it here because we're going to start making cuts with A. Remember, I went through and Alphabet. I said it in the beginning. So if you're watching this as a replay, just rewind to the beginning. Like I said, How to Conquer. I don't have a link for it, but you can find it on Etsy. All right, A is background. I need to cut 3 blah, blah, blah strips, which I cannot tell you the numbers, but I can say blah, 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 and how many of blah, blah, blah I'm cutting. All right, I'm going to straighten it up with my long ruler.
Where'd you get the clips with the letters on?
I put the letters on my own clips. So these are just regular, the big clips. And then I'm not sure I'm going to find it right off the top. If you're curious, though, it's somewhere right here. Is it these? Nope. It's these. Nope. They're little letters from, I don't even know where they are, but they're little letters that you can buy online. And you can buy the clips with the letters and numbers. I put the stickers on mine myself, though. All right. Yeah, Fat Quarter Shop, Connecting Threads, QBPN. Everyone probably has the ones with the letters on them. You could also buy the Alphabet clips, which is Fat Quarter Shop. They're these clips. They're square. Becca had them at her house. And they're little square clips with the alphabet literally on them directly. And then they have the numerical ones, too. All right, we need 3 of that number. I hate not being able to say it out loud, but if you get the pattern, we're just going in order. 1, 2, roll this back because I'm making a third of that size. All right. 3 cuts at that size. All right, we're going to slide this out of the way. I hate doing this too when this is what following patterns, you know, like the move it, cut it, then add another, move it, cut it, and keep going. It takes the fun out of cutting everything. That's why I like to make up my own stuff and just cut. All right, I'm actually just going to grab the correct size ruler. It's obvious what I'm doing here. Turn it around and cut how many? 24. All right, so that's 6. 6 is 12. 6. 6 makes a total of 24. And then my little leftover cuts will just go into a pile of what can I make with all this junk later. All right, and then it says to cut them on the diagonal corner to corner twice. Set that there because I need to be able to put all my parts and pieces aside somewhere. Literally just going to stack it all up here and put my A with it. As soon as they're all cut, I will hook it to the fabric. And I can go like A1, A2, A3 if I wanted to when it comes to these cuts, but I'm just going to stack them all up and guess which one belongs to which pile. All this is going to go towards the same part of the pattern anyway. I kind of pre-looked at what was going on. I figure I can get this done in 2 live streams maybe. It's the beginning of the month, so we'll see how long it takes. I'm not really trying to have 500 quilts hanging in my closet, which you guys know, but I wanted to do somebody else's pattern for once. A lot of people ask all the time, you know, to do patterns that they can buy somewhere else. All right, those I'm going to clip with my A. Then I need to cut more off of here. Slide that back open. I'm going to not reline it up because I'll just cut one layer at a time. I need two. All right, there's one, right there. Oop, there's another ruler. I would have hurt myself. Woo-hoo. Two cuts this size. This has a lot of 5/8 and whatever cuts in it too, by the way. So if you're not used to using all the numbers on your rulers, but it seems pretty beginner friendly. You just have to learn your numbers on your rulers. Slide that out of the way momentarily. Turn these and cut how many? 24, I think it said. Oh, no. 10. We'll switch to this ruler because it's still a small cut. Cut 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Really? They made me cut 2 strips for that? Nine, 10. Make sure one more time. Let me use my pencil. Put a dot next to the ones I've cut. Okay. Also goes with A. My discard pile is going to be better. I'm just going to put it over there. Now I need to cut 16 strips. Wow. Okay. This is the time where I want to line up my 2 ends again and cut 2 layers at a time. I'm just going to redo this again. This is the part that probably is going to take the longest. That and there's half square triangles in this pattern. All right, I'm going to re-straighten the line because obviously I started cutting separately. Back up, right here, there. Hopefully there's enough yardage for the fact that I have to keep straightening it. All right, we're going to cut 16 strips of a specific size. It's really hard for me to follow other people's patterns, I swear. There's 1, 2. 3, 4. And it's not cutting the beginnings. 5, 6. I'm going to look at this again. Yep, 16 of that strip. Okay. 7, 8. And it's skipping right there. 9, 10. 11, 12. 13, 14. Oops, and that skipped right there. And 2 more. 15, 16. And then I'm going to subcut into 31 pieces that are blah, blah, blah. stack them up in the stacks of 4. And then we're going to just subcut. All of them at the same exact time, sideways. There. That should be lined up pretty good. Line this up on that. And this is what I like about my desk. I can walk around it. And I'm cutting them to blah, blah, blah. Right there. Come down to that blah, blah, blah number. Yeah, where is it at? Because I'm on my board. A little bit funkier. Where am I at? Right here.
You keep saying it.
Line that up. Line this up. Make sure. And cut them all. All right, I have a bunch of strips. There should be however many I'm supposed to have. 31 of them. So that's 8 and 8. 16. And 16 is whatever. I'm just going to set them aside. I have more than I needed, but that's okay. All right, and then last from this, I need to cut 4 of a blah, blah, blah number. Wow, this is a lot of waste for me. That's okay, I can make something else. Woohoo! Open it up. Straighten it back out because it looks like it's a disaster again. That happens when you cut multiple layers. What's that number again? Again, it has a lot of not used to numbers like 3/4, 5/8, 1/8. All right, 4. I gotta turn it this way. There. How many did I need again? 4. 1 and 2. Oops, stay right there. 3 and 4. And that is what's left over. Place it over there. And then I'm going to subcut these into 48 squares. Cut on the diagonal once. Oy, oy, oy. Turn it. Line it up and cut them all at the same time with this one. I need 48 of them. Is that what I just said? Yes.
Yes.
Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 16, 17, 18, 4. Ay, that happened. Okay, whatever. What am I at now? I forgot. 20. 40, and then I need 8 more. So 1 more cut.
Which takes a 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Place that over there and cut all of these on the diagonal one time. Yep. Stack it all up. There's also a tone on tone, so I have to pay attention because I'm cutting it all right side up, upside down. Me and my tone on tones don't get along. I feel like I'm going to be cutting forever, but I'm going to cut the whole pattern out instead of just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to place these all over there. All of my A is now cut. Time for B, which is dark blue.
Raven, who got the bags, got them. She says they're perfect. The 2 purple bags. She said one is for her and one is for the pets.
To put the pets in.
I don't know if she's putting the pets in or what. It's a big enough bag.
I am sweaty, sweaty, sweaty hot. We need that fan on higher, I think. My goodness.
Sorry.
Can I have my clip on the side of the bed? I'm going to clip all this up off my neck. That's probably the problem.
Yes. I got that.
All right, B fabric time. All right, I'm going to take my thingy off. Where should I put these until then? Because they're all going to fall on the floor.
No, it's for their food, toys, and bowls.
Oh, food, toys, and bowls. Okay. I believe you. You're probably going to put the dogs in. I'm just kidding.
It's okay. It'd be funny.
That would be funny,
I
yeah.
want to see a picture of that.
All right, I moved that over so that I could put all this over here because I have a feeling that my stacks are just going to get way too big. 2 seconds while I place all these parts and pieces over here. All right, that's all A. Okay, time for B. We're going to cut 2 strips that are whatever size. Line these 2 ends up. Cut all and cut 2 strips that are another 5/8 number. My goodness. Line this up. Make a cut. One more time. I'm going to look. I check 500 times for these numbers, you know. And then I count on my ruler twice too. 4 and 1 8 2 8 3 8 4 8 5. Whew. Line that number up. Okay. There. I'm going to cut my cuts first. How about that? 1 2 of this number. Okay, then the next number, 1 of those, 15 of those. My goodness, I'll just work on these 2 first, I guess. That's the second one, but this is the first one. Grab this ruler because it's smaller. I don't like that all this salvage is being, everything's being wasted. Yep. It's because I'm working, that's why. All right, where was that 5/8 number again? On this ruler, I cannot see it because It is not marked. Darn it. Looks like we're going to try this one. That was how many squares? 16 of them. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 10, 11, 12, and 16. Set that aside. These get cut on the diagonal one time, which I can use this ruler for. Mark it. Cut corner once. My stripology ruler doesn't have eighths on it, and like I said, this pattern has a lot of 1/8, 5/8, so on and so forth. So the stripology ruler would not work for that. Okay, I'm going to stack all this up. And then set it over there with the B marker on it and start with my B pile. And then I need this one that I cut. I need to cut 10, blah, 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 1/4. Yeah, my stripology ruler is in half numbers. I can't use this. Oh, no, I can. This one has 1/4 on it, right? What did I just say? Yep, 1/4. I can use this one. I have a feeling these are big blocks. Because I don't even know what size this quilt makes. I didn't even look at the pattern. It's probably lap size or twin. Do these get cut on the diagonal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Technically, I only need 10. 9, 10. All right, those are cut. This will just go over there. Next one, 3/8 of a number. Just one strip. One eighth. My goodness. Right there. Is the 1/8 seeable on this ruler? It is. Switch to this one. Oh, I forgot the number already. Need 8 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Yep, 8. Okay, that's done. Then we need to cut 15 strips of that. All right, reline it back up because I'm cutting 15 strips now of a number, and then the next number is 3 of something.
Weird gonna be massacred at this 1/8, I tell you.
Yeah, this next cut is, well, this one's a half cut, so that makes it actually easier.
Yeah.
All right, so I need 15 of them. 1, 2. 3, 4. Oops. 5, 6, and
You need a new blade?
it's not the blade, it's the gouges that are in the mat.
Oh, do we need to flip
1,
the
2,
mat
3,
over?
4, 5, 6. I already think I used the other side already.
Well, then it's time for a new mat.
Yeah, it's time for a new one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll just cut twice down there, that's all. Because there's a gouge that runs along right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. 11, 12. 13, 14. Oops. Cut right there. And then I need a 15th. How many are separated for what, though? Oh, it just says, okay, whatever. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Open it up. Get the 15th. And then cut the next number. These stay as they are, I guess. I'm just gonna roll them there. Some are for binding, so, and some are for the inner border. But I always just cut what it says to cut. Now we need 3. Oh, there's a 3/8 number. My goodness. 3 that are. All right, turn it back this way. And 3. That's right before the half. So if you are a beginner, this is the best pattern right here to get your 8ths down.
Darn right.
Oh my goodness.
Everything is 8s and 8s and 8s.
Yeah. What did I say? 3/8. I'm serious. This is your pattern to learn your markings on your rulers. Yep, that's right. That second cut there because it's at the gouge. And one more. That's the line before that. 3/8. 3/8. 3/8.
Everybody's saying they would just go to a quarter.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be off when I go to put the pieces together. Because
Okay.
maybe it's measured just to be that specific size. Because it doesn't show me cutting anything down to a specific size.
Okay.
It doesn't have a square the block to, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I think that they're doing this. Am I cutting those at all differently? Oh, 48 squares now. I wonder if I could see 3/8 from here. Yeah, I can see the 3/8 on this one. I just can't see the 7/8 or 5/8. I mean, yeah, because that notch is
Well, 7/8
messed
is
up
right
right
under
here.
an inch. 5/8 is right over half an inch.
3/8 is right before the half an inch. Yep. Yep. These I just keep as squares. I'm just gonna cut this whole thing up because it says I need 48 of them and I'm not counting. That's 6 and 6 is 12, I guess. 12 and 12 is 24. $36. And 48. Whew wee.
Do you have any yeah ruler?
Do I have any So Yeah rulers? No, that I do not have. All right, all of the B is cut out. Now for C, which is my green. Looks like only 2 cuts from this. Move that off of there, and we're going to cut some 8ths again. Let's make sure I'm getting both layers right there. All right, let me check one more time. 2 strips that are 2 strips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I gotta make sure I'm counting it or else I don't see it. I have to look. It's very small lines here. 2 strips that are this. Right there. So the number after the half. I mean, who figures all this stuff out at those halves and 8ths and stuff? And then 1 strip that's whatever and 1/8.
Not me.
I mean, I don't work by halves. If you guys noticed, all of my scraps I cut myself are in halves. I don't work in 8ths. I don't make any pattern of any kind in 8ths. Just 1 strip of that is really.
Oh yeah, did you tell them that you
2
labeled all your stuff?
of that, and 1 of those. Yeah, so I went through with a words. What's the thing called again? A label maker that we got from the neighbor, but it was old, so we ordered new labely things for it, and Scott got me a bunch so I can label everything. And guess what? That's what I've been doing, labeling everything. Not only in here, but in the other room as well. In my fabric room, everything is getting labels. He keeps saying, you don't have to label that. It's obvious, but I'm labeling it anyway.
Well, I bought you the stuff, so you might as well
He
use
bought it for me, so I'm using it. And then we'll give the neighbor back his label maker, and the only time I'll ever need it is if I have to update a label because I ended, whatever the amount of something was in a box. All right, let me subcut all this now. Again, and these are cut on the diagonal ones. I need 16 of them. What's that number again? 5/8. That doesn't have it. I can't see the 5/8 on that. That's the one I can't see is 5/8 on that ruler. Five eighths. There. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 12. 15, 16. Cut on the diagonal 1 time. Right? Let's check, make sure. 1 time. Usually when I do other people's patterns, I do all the cuts first. I follow the pattern by making all the cuts. Because usually that's what it says do first, and then I label them. When I first started, I would cut whatever and then go to the next step and see what that turns into. But then you'd have to go through and find the next step's other color and cut that. And yeah, it's just a hassle. All right, how many squares of this? 8. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, place that up there with my C. Now we're on D, light purple. Wow, it's already been an hour and I'm still cutting. We're getting there, we're getting there. All right, one strip. Sure that I'm getting both layers. Line it up. There on the edge, perfect. And then,
Is there any reason to keep the boxes for my long arm?
any reason to keep the box for your long arm frame, not the frame, but your machine head. And I recommend this. If you buy a machine, this machine, a long arm machine, any machine head, and you bought it online, say from SewingMachinesPlus or Juke Junkies or any of those places, save your box. Put it up in your attic, put it in your basement, put it somewhere. Because if you have to, something breaks and it's under its factory warranty, especially with the long arm, because it's lifetime limited warranty, you need that box to ship it back to the people. So that way it can get fixed, or to the warranty center, or to wherever you need that box. So this box for this machine, I'll only keep for 10 years because it's a 10-year limited warranty. So if something mechanically breaks on it, I have the box and I can send it back. All right. Really? They only want me to cut 2 squares of that? Okay. 5. This is a waste of a cut here, but I will turn it into 5-inch squares for the extra. My goodness. Or 5.5-inch squares. That's just dumb. I don't even have that number on my other ruler. Come on. It's not that. I just need to cut it straight right here at the end. In my left-handed side, even though I'm right-handed. 1, 2, 3. I literally only need 2 squares off this. What a dummy. All right, this is D. That's the first cut. Excuse me. Drink of water. Cutting is making me sneezy now.
It happens to the best of us.
Cutting and sewing. All right, we are on light purple. We need 2. 2, 3, 4. Thank you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. There. Lightened up. How many of these strips did I need? 2. There and one more time there. And what's the next cut? 1, 1/8. 1 freaking 8. My goodness. Okay. That is all cut up. Now, subcut. This one was again. I need 16. Are they cut on the diagonal? Yep, once. I remember the last one at this number was cut on the diagonal. Let me look at the number one more time because I totally just spaced it. And 5/8. I don't have 5/8 on here.
Back to that one?
Yep. I keep forgetting. 2, 3, 4. Right there. Stay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. If this pattern does not turn out perfect, I'm blaming these eighths.
I would too. I own two.
I think in one part of it does say to sew with a scant 1/4 inch as well. I'm like, really? That's okay. I can do that. I have no problem with that. But really? But it only says it for certain one. It doesn't say it for all of them, which is even more funny. All right. All of my D is now cut out. Now we're on to E. Oh, wait. No, it's not. It's right here. Let's finish this up real quick. This one was 8 squares. This is pretty fabric, though. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? I said 8. Yep. All right. Did that. And that now is all cut up. Next color. Wow, I'm going to have a lot of fabric left over to throw together into something. This is E, which is pink. We're going to make 3 cuts. All right, we just need this ruler for the whole thing. 2 strips that are that number that I cannot find on the other ruler because it's not available. Straighten it out. And cut. 1. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's right there. And then 3. 1, 2, 3. Right there. Scrap. And this becomes, this is the most dangerous situation right here. Can they see this part of the desk? The way that just landed? I'm going to have Scott tip the camera just for 2 seconds so you can see the most dangerous situation with the rotary cutter. I slid my ruler over and look how it landed. So if I go to reach, which is what I did the other day, and I caught my knuckle, I reached with this hand and had an upside down one. Yeah, unless my knuckle, but this is a wrist getter right there.
Yeah, you get your wrist, you're in trouble.
Yeah, this is why you're supposed to close your blades.
You should do.
Which I should be doing, but I just didn't. Till just now. Yeah, don't do that. All right, 2 strips that I cut that number. I need 16 of those squares cut on the diagonal once. Eights right there. Right there. 5 eighths. And one more time. 5 eighths. I just have to keep telling myself. And if you don't remember, you could also put washi tape on your rulers to help you. On the diagonal once. Okay. Stack it all up. Mark it and move it out of my way. This one I cut with this ruler because that number is on here. 3, 4. I need 8 of them, right? Yep. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're on to the blue medium floral, which is F. All right. Pink is done. We're on this one. Just one of those strips. Make sure I'm getting both the layers. I can go over that way more. I'm not using the cutting mat as a cutting number, by the way, either. I'm just using the ruler itself. And how many do I turn that into? 2 square. Why am I only cutting 2 off of that? My goodness. These must be the middle squares is what it is. That is F. Next cut. Where did I just cut? F. 2 that are that one. What's that number again? 5, 8. It's there and there. And I need 2. 1 and 2. And then that's my leftover. Toss it over there. Turn. That's the number that's not on the ruler, so I still need the big ruler. And these get cut on the diagonal once, right? Yep. And I need how many of them? 12. Three, 4. What was the number again? Uh-oh.
12.
I just made sure this. Yes, okay. I cut it on the right one. I need 12 of them, though. I just can't see right here for some reason through this.
Do you want me to come do it?
No, it's fine. 8. Nine, 10, 11, 12. Right there. Cut on the diagonal once. Wow, I feel like I'm not even going to get to any sewing today already. My goodness. All right, that's all cut out. All right, now we're on to G, which is on my pattern says yellow, but for me it's a light green. All right, G, 1, 2 cuts that are that 5/8 number, and then 1 that's the 1/8 number. way again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 cuts that are this. And did it again. 1 and 2. And then 1 that is a 1/8 number right here. Left over. Move it out of the way. I still need that big ruler for these. How many do I need? 16. I have to like tap on the ruler, if you guys haven't noticed, for my brain to comprehend what I'm doing.
It's okay, honey. You do it your way. You're doing good.
Everybody has their like things, their mantras. That's what Jenny Doan always says.
I like
Everybody
that.
has a mantra
Yeah.
of something that they do. And I just so happen to tap on my rulers, especially when I'm following patterns, because, oh wait, I gotta cut these on diagonal once. Can't do that yet. Gotta cut first. All right, let's mark it with the G. Put it in the oven for baby and me.
Yeah, but that would be if it was marked with a B.
No, it's
The
marked
G
with a
can
G
be-
for girl.
It can be Groff.
It could be Groff, yeah, because my last name is Groff. Mark it with a G. Put it in the oven for Scott and me. All right. 8. How many do I need? 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, just a few more fabrics left. We got to turn the page finally. Woohoo! All right, H is the blue dot, although it looks like a purpley blue to me, which is fine because I like that. Look at it, already got all wrinkled. Straighten it up and figure out what that first cut is, because I totally just started cutting and not even looking. All right, here we go with that stupid number again. 1, 2. Just one of these. And then the next one is just one of these. Really, that's it? Because I had enough left to have 2. Oh, okay, it's just one. Let's choose this ruler. And how many do I need? 8? No, I only need 4. Two, 3, 4. Cut on diagonal one time. Well, that was easy. That was not much to this one. All right. Stack them, clip them, cut this, and then move it off. I need 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why does it feel like that shifted to me? It did. For some reason, this piece isn't very pressed good. Probably was when the iron wasn't as hot. No, stay whole. And now we can put H over here. Now for I, which is my white. Oh no, blue packed floral is I. This is J. Let's just cut J because it's already in front of me. This is only getting 1 cut off of it and 2 subcuts. Oh, this is very crooked. This is a very crooked piece. Right there. Yep. Cut crooked. Now cut straight. I got both layers. What is the number now? 5. Right there. And then I only need to subcut 4 pieces. And that number's not even on there, so I don't even know why I grabbed that ruler. Oops, don't move that. Darn it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, J is all cut up. And now for the last one. Oh my goodness, I feel like this is taking me forever. All right. And now for I. Both ends are already lined up. Smooth it out. 8 of that number. And 1 of that number. Okay, so let's get the 8 of the first number. Cut. Oh. I guess I need a new mat and a new blade. I have made such the mess over here. It's in that. Okay. What size again? Wait, let's see. That's a big number.
You go through mats like crazy. We're just gonna buy stock.
Yeah, we go through. Scott goes, we go through mats like crazy. We should just buy stock.
We keep the company in business.
Yeah, we do keep the company in business for sure. I like my Postcards. For me, they don't last forever. That's because I do a lot more cutting than the average quilter because I'm here making tons of quilts for you and videos. If it was just me, well, honestly, without being a videoer, I'd probably be quilting just as much. I mean, for real. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one more time. This is just the border anyway, but everything will have been cut. 7, 8. So I'm going to go ahead and just place those over there, but I'm going to mark this one when I cut that next piece with what they are. This could just get folded because I'm not subcutting any of this. This just gets sewn together later. And then this gets opened up now and cut one strip. That's there. Perfect. And this is not needed. So I cut those, and I cut that, and I need 4 squares off of this one. Two. 3 and 4. Woohoo! We can finally start sewing. All right. Wow, look at this. This is all the waste, but it's enough for me to make something small or, you know, whatever with it. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring all my parts and pieces over here. I don't need anything else. We're going to go through the steps now that we're an hour and 15 minutes in. I don't need border pieces, though. I'm going to leave those out of the way for now. I'm just going to bring over all the parts and pieces and lay them here in front of me. Scoot them over as far as I can so that I can get all of them up here. And all my letters are on here.
I was always taught if you're going to cut a quilt, use the same ruler through the whole project.
Okay. So, let me see if I can't show you guys. The question was, I was always taught to use the same ruler throughout the quilt. So there is a yes and a no to that question. Yes, use the same ruler if you can, but this is called an easy access ruler. For me, this is something that's simple. It's right there in front of you. So if you took this ruler by Missouri Star and you take this Quilter's Select ruler, I'm going to pop this off so that I can show you guys, because sometimes this really is a big difference. This is why they want you to use the same ruler. Oh, that's the half side. So I'm going to go over here to the solid side. Now I'm going to hold these as best as I can on top of each other. So this one seems to be pretty darn accurate. Look at those. Even the 8ths are lining up. Pretty darn accurate.
No two are ever the same.
No two are ever the same, yeah. But this one I find to be off the most. These ones. Let me just grab a tiny ruler because we're going to solve this. Oh, it went over there. Can you grab it? It's by your phone.
Okay, I will grab
Thumper siding. He's trying to get in the bag that the kit was in.
He is. He's putting his front paws in the bag. Look at him.
Okay.
Here, show him what
Here's
you're
a
showing him.
Fiskars ruler and a Quilter Select. Now this one has a half mark on it, and this one has a half mark on it. So I'm going to turn it around to this side. We're going to line it up right here on the edge. We're going to see. Now, because of the white around the Fiskars ones, you could see they line up pretty good. Oops, I shifted that. But some of those 8 marks kind of look off. Do you see that? Right here. Look, it's kind of off just a little bit. So that's why they tell you to use the same ruler. But in all honesty, if I was to cut 2 1/2 from this ruler and 2 1/2 from this ruler, my 2 and my half are on. So if I was to go to 2 1/2 here and line it up with 2 1/2 there, that lands on the edge of the ruler. I don't care about the 8ths, if they're off or not. But that's the only thing. They say, because some rulers, the markings might not be exact. This one is very thin lines. This one is thicker lines. I mean, so your cut might be just slightly different than a different cut. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason they say to use the same ruler. But in reality, the one that's off the most, if you guys didn't know, is your cutting mats. I'm going to line this up on the edge of this black where I can still see some black, and I'm going to line it up on this side. And if you can see my board, It is like 2 millimeters off right here along this whole side. This is lined up where I could still see the black line, but on this side, I could see the line utterly and totally in full. This is what's off. But if you cut directly from this every single time, then you won't have a problem because every single cut is off your cutting mat and you're just using the ruler to make the cuts. So it's a choice. Use the cutting mat as your number the whole entire time, or just use whatever ruler you have in handy. But these ones, you don't have to really worry too much. They're less off than your big ruler would be to your cutting mat. So I'm gonna line this one up on the black line just because we're doing this in the video. All right, this side is completely lined up. Is this half mark on? And it is, look at that. So this is a Quilter Select and this is a Fiskars. This is exact to my cutting mat, but this one, a Missouri Star, is not. Think about it. Let that sink in, and now you can use rulers to cut, or you can use your cutting mat. That's up to you. But I choose to just go with whatever ruler is in front of me. This one and this one are my main, big ruler, small ruler. Everything else is for specific size cuts. All right, let's move on to these directions now. That's closed, I don't need that. What do we need for number 1? Oh, I didn't bring the rest of the pieces over because there was a ruler question. I don't need that because that's a first border. Don't need that because that's sashing, I think. I'm going to bring these over. And then separate them all. And then these over, my B pieces. There, and there. Ta-da! Directions, finally. Make 8 at a time half square triangles by using our A squares that are this number. And I'm just going to lay them on here to make sure that that's what they are. Yep. And my B squares that are also that number. And that's these. So I'm going to make 4 at a time. To do this, I'm not going to use a drawn line on the back. I'm going to take one, make sure it's right side up, right side down on this one. And I'm going to use my seam tape. This one says scant 1/4 inch, so I'm just going to go along the foot, which is a scant 1/4 unless I line up this. I'm just going to use my foot to go from edge to edge, but still line it up on the line. And then, so from corner to corner, and then I'll do all of these in a row, and then I'll turn it around this way, and so corner to corner on this side. And it says both sides of the drawn line. So here we go.
The Jukie's in action.
The Jukie's finally going to get some action. Can I have another water?
Plain?
Yes, plain, please. All right. Oops, and I just really screwed that one up right off the top because I was not paying attention. I just sewed from the away from the corner to the corner instead of lining it up on my line because I'm, you know, having a I just cut so much fabric moment. And it's not coming apart either. What in the world? Okay, well, that's not happening to me today.
You want this?
Right here, please. Thank you. I need to sip now. My forever long sinus infection that I have been suffering from for the last like 7 months now. I have drainage in the back. Now, sometimes it catches me when I talk too much. Okay, lining that up on this line right here. That's more smart, Tiffany. Whew. All right, right side up, right side down. And so. it up. I'm gonna look real quick. Okay, yeah. That's what it says. That's what I'm gonna do. And if any of these end up backwards, I'm sorry, but it's not my fault.
It ain't gonna be backwards. It's gonna be good.
I just meant the tone on tone.
Oh. That tone on tone is hard to tell top from the bottom.
Yeah, and this one is like not a very fully toned on tone, so it's not as easily noticeable. So I gotta sew these 4 times so I can get both sides of my drawn line that I didn't draw. All right, here we go. I prefer to chain piece everything. Just like this. I find it so much easier to do. All right, snip them apart and then go the opposite direction twice. Once on each side of my not drawn line. We're making a whole buttload of half square triangles out of this that are going to be very small. I'm assuming that these are for the border though, because yeah, they're for the pinwheels around the sashing and stuff. But this is the step they want us to do first. I guess get the small stuff out of the way. And this is to get the 8 at a time half square triangles. Or more. What is it? 16 at a time? No, it's 8 at a time. I don't even know. It's something. And we're out of bobbin. And I rolled a bunch before starting, so that way whatever, but obviously I didn't even start sewing right away. All right, once they are sewn, snip them apart and then cut. They should end up whatever size the pattern says. Cut them apart vertically and horizontal. So I'm going to start off, because I have the horizontal stitch lines already, I'm just going to cut my vertical and then my horizontal first. And that way I can just cut between the lines when I go the other way. It looks pretty straight to me right there. That way if I get anything mixed up, I could just split them like this. And then we'll send all this over to Scott to start pressing. Repeat. Lined up, lined up. And does it say to press towards the dark? Oh, it doesn't even say. So it looks like I'm just going to press towards the dark, which is a normal thing to do.
So am I starting to
Yeah. These are small, so beware.
get the other sucker water?
So just press towards the blue. Very carefully, like. And they will be small.
What do you want this?
It goes under there. Oh, you kidding me?
What happened?
It's shifted.
Take it easy. It's okay. You got plenty of extra fabric. Take it easy.
That was not supposed to happen.
Why do you put that inside the iron that is already going down? It's the heaviest thing on it.
What is? I don't
That
understand.
iron is the heaviest thing on the ironing board, and you always put it on the side that's already worked and bent down. Gotta stop doing it. You hear me?
Yep. Oh, come on.
How do you deal with stash limitations?
Stash limitations? What does that mean? Like not having enough room to put your stuff?
Okay. On the iron.
Towards the blue, please.
Okay.
Very carefully. Because they are very small.
Okay, okay. You ever made a t-shirt quilt?
I have made so many t-shirt quilts, and there is lots of videos on my channel about making t-shirt quilts. There's time-lapse videos, there's not time-lapse videos. I'll just have to say this. I get a lot of t-shirt quilt orders because a lot of people where I live, when their kids graduate high school or college or just little kids or whatever, a lot of the locals come to me and, like, you know how Facebook has groups, like groups to ask questions and find things? Well, there's a Havasu group, and people in Havasu tag me, and every time someone says, hey, do you know someone that can make a t-shirt quilt? And I get tagged in it, and I don't usually turn anybody down. Some people don't come back though once they hear the price, but I mean, there's a lot of work to do that. So then I tell them to watch my videos, and then they usually understand, and then they'll come back and have me make it. Yeah.
Very much work.
A lot of
into
work
t-shirt
goes into
quilt.
t-shirt quilts. Yeah. It's not just like what I'm doing right here where I got to cut all the fabric out and then start piecing it. T-shirt quilts require prepping, keeping the fabric straight, putting interfacing on it, cutting to size, making sure that's the right size, making sure nothing stretches while you're making it, and da 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 da, and then backing it, quilting it, you know, same as always. Depends on what I'm building too. If they want the clothes to stay whole, then you gotta come up with a way to keep everything, you know, with most of whatever's on it, and yeah.
You have
T-shirt
to
quilts,
measure and design.
measure and design, yep. You know, they require a lot of effort. And they're heavy too when you go to quilt them. So long arming them is best suited unless you're just stitching in the ditch. But most batting, you can't do that with unless they're smaller within a certain amount of space. Because most batting is within 5 inches, you know, of quilting. Unless you're hand stitching it, you know, hand quilting it, then to get the areas. But the machine, I did my first t-shirt quilt, just a sit down machine before I had a long arm. And that was hard, trying to quilt it, the whole thing underneath the needle. And that was on an old Brother machine. And that had a smaller throat space than this one. I have done a queen size though on this one. You know, the size that these are supposed to be isn't even on my, oops, don't cut that way first. Whoo-wee, I almost did that. Isn't on my triangle cutters, or else I would have pre-trimmed them in case they needed it. But supposedly they're supposed to come out the right size, so I'm gonna leave them whatever size they are. I'm gonna cut the dog ears off and then sew them together. Supposedly, you know, you shouldn't have to trim all this if everything's at the size that you're consistent with your seam allowance. I was after my first boo-boo.
You're consistent. You're good. All these two?
Yep. And then this will be the last of it. I don't sit and cut very often, and you want to know why? Because this is making my shoulders hurt. All right, here's the rest. Now I'm going to trim dog ears off. I'm going to measure it real quick and see, do I have to trim anything? Nope. Yep, that's the right size. I don't need to do anything. Just going to cut the dog ears. I'll check like 5 of them just to see, you know? But for now, I'm going to start trimming all these off. Let's quality test it. That one's exact too. And yes, I'm scissor cutting this step. Why? Because I can.
You don't have
Quality
something else you
test.
could sew?
Exactly. What?
You don't have something else you could sew well and I could cut all those for you later when we're done?
Nope.
Oh, we'll be done in another 10 minutes.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just going to stick with the order of the pattern.
Okay. Oh, look, one person said you're lucky you have an Iron Man.
Yes, I'm glad I have an Iron Man because there's 5 extra minutes right there of my ironing. Instead, I'm spending it doing the cutting right here. Quality control check. Oh, that one's slightly bigger by like 2 millimeters.
2? Oh my.
But I'm leaving it. Why? Because I can. And then the finished block, if anything, it's supposed to be a 3-inch square. So if I have to, I will trim once they're together because I'm just making pinwheels with these. I'd rather trim the lesser amount once they're sewn together than each one of these individually. Make sense? It does in my mind. All right, I'm going to stop trimming these off and leave that to him after he presses. And I'm going to start sewing these together into pinwheels.
Yes, I know how to cut off dog.
All right, step 1 is done. I'm going to put a dot next to it. Step 2 is done. I'm going to put a dot next to it. And I'm working on step 3. All right, as I say, just regular 1/4 inch seam. Yeah, apparently it doesn't actually say, but. All right, pinwheels, which way do they face? This way. This way. That way, and that way. Okay. Put the seam ripper away so that I won't need it. You know, out of sight, out of mind. Start that way, this way, and that way.
This way, that way.
So I'm just nesting them together, setting them in sets of 2 continuously. This should be good. Since they're all pressed to the dark, it should match up just right. That away, and that away. For a total of 20 pinwheel units is what I'm doing. All right, so now I just take them apart in sets of 2. I'm gonna press towards the dark. Some people would open the seam, but I don't open seams, so I'm just gonna press to the dark. Should lay nice and flat.
Are you iron them now?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm not really worried about my points at this moment either. It should be close enough. I think I'm doing pretty good.
My fat fingers could open these, I'd be done.
Oh.
I can't open these.
Scott's taking a while. He said, if my fat fingers weren't, you know, he can't open the pieces because they're so small. That's the only problem with working with small pieces. Sometimes they are a struggle. Let's see how good I did on these pinwheels. Oh, that's so perfect.
Let me see. Let me see. That is perfect.
The points come together perfectly. Ooh, look at that one too. I'm not even paying attention really here. I'm just like putting them together. That one's a little off, but it's not horrible. That one is way off. I think I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. All right, I'm gonna pull the one that's really wonky and the one that's like perfect and show you guys the difference. All right, perfect pinwheel. Perfect pinwheel. They all come together with their points. Obviously, when it's pressed, it'll be nice. Here is a not so perfect pinwheel. I might need to take that seam allowance in a little bit more to fix that real quick. That way it lands better.
Oh, it's not bad.
I'm going to take it in another 1/8 of an inch. You're getting picky. Just because I can.
How come your first one came out so good?
The rest of them are good too.
Okay.
Right. Let's see.
All but one are good.
I mean, that's a little bit better, and I'm going to leave it, but, you know, the rest of them are great. All right, so there these are. They're supposed to be a certain size. Just going to kind of finger press them for now. That way, when they get to the iron, they're sort of opened. I do have a finger presser tool, but that's not going to work with these because they are pinwheels. Some people split the seam and spin it. I'm not going to do that. I just press them, and they should lay flat once they're pressed.
Here, let's iron a few of these.
I'm going to cut some more of these dog ears off while I'm sitting here so that I can make more, because I need to make 20 of these. And then the next step is making a square and a square, which I guess I could do 1 or 2 of those, honestly. I'll just set these aside. Let's do some square and squares. Those are off. Let's see. Make a square and a square using B triangles. That's these on a.
This one looks a little wonky, but it's not quite straight.
I'm leaving it.
I'm just saying, compared to the others.
Oh, I'm leaving it.
It looks fine.
Square and a square. So this blue goes on all of them then? Four B. 1, 2, 3, 4B goes on one white floral square. That would be J. I'll set that aside. Oh, I'm making 2 of each. Right?
I don't know.
It just ends there. Make a blue triangles right here. That's B with 1 J. Right side. Then sew 2 more on the right side, bottom left. Should measure that. Make 2 total. So 2 with this. All right. Let's grab 1, 2, 3, 4 more pieces. We're going to do a square and a square. So it's one of these with these all around it. Boom and boom. Like that. For now, because I'm doing square and square. So to get to my square and a square good, I am going to press a crease press a crease, fold it the other way, make little crease marks. And then fold all these and make crease marks and line everything up. Crease marks. I'm going to do one at a time though, because they're just going to blow around. All right, one for the opposite side. On square and squares, you do opposite sides first. You could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, the next one, the next one, the next one. That's up to you. But it's best if you do just opposite sides. So I'm going to line my little mark on both pieces up, hold it still. Press it towards the blue. Cut off dog ears. Boom. Boom. Oh well, it's stuck in there now. Fold. I'm not going to take it to the iron because I don't want to lose my lines that I have made my lovely creases and lining them up. So instead, I finger press. This side. Line my creases on top of themselves. Since I'm on camera, you know, it has to lose thread all the way to the top. Oh my goodness. Try that again. Now it can go to the iron. And it should be a specific size. So there's a square and a square.
Oh, that looks good.
Do that one more time. I'm just going to put it up on the wall for a moment. Crease this one. I just fold it in half. I just use my finger within a 1/4 inch of the edge. Use my nail to kind of just make a marking. And I do the same with the other fabric. I fold it in half and I just use my fingernail to make my mark. I can even mark these at the same exact time. So 2 sides on. Finger press. Cut dog ears. Usually they land in my little trash. Make a little crease on these two. And sew these on. Is the iron still on?
Which one?
The white one. Oh.
So we were done.
Yeah. All right, so my square and squares are done. A couple of my pinwheels are done. And that's as far as we got today. So I will set everything aside because I will not sew anything without you guys. Because now we have to make other units. And then step 1 through 8 again to make the following units again. So those I'll do off camera. So next week we'll come back and do the next step and get as far as we can, put a block together so that you guys get the general idea. There'll be 2 of those blocks, and then the rest is filling the rest out. So I shall put all this in a project box, and next Sunday we will get to more. Any questions while I'm here? One more time. Windy Garden by Bound to Be Quilting. The collection I'm using, I don't know if you can find these things. I mean, it seems kind of newer. Cottage Bouquet by Maywood Studios. And you can find the pattern on Etsy or whatever. Just do a Google search and you'll find it. Boundtobequilting.com might have it. It's from 2022. So I'm assuming that the fabric, it's on the picture, is from 2022 also. So it should still be findable. All right. I just don't think you can find a kit.
You got an email from somebody saying it's on Bound to Be Quilting website for $12.
Yeah. Alrighty. I think I'll finish the pinwheels off camera because that I can do. Get all those dog ears cut and finish the pinwheels. Actually, I showed you how to make this and the pinwheel, so I can make the rest of these off camera too for the combinations. I could do that, yep, because that's repeating the step, it says. Okay, that's what I'll do. I will make the square and squares and the pinwheels off camera because I showed how to do that. All right, that's it. If there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. And that will end my day. Yeah, this week for those, usually I would have open gate quilts done, but it came on a weekend and I was already doing on things. So it came on Saturday and I never sew anything other than sew Sunday stuff. So I will get that filmed this week and out this week. There is another video coming out this week that I filmed, and then that's it. That's all I have. We really didn't do much this week. I've been long arm quilting, and well, when I finish all that stuff, then I'll show you what I've been up to. All right, yep, no mail opening this week. All right, guys. Happy Easter, happy Resurrection Day, and I will see you next week. Bye.